Hi guys. I've never done this before, the live stream, the live chat, or whatever it's called, but it's been an irresistible button for a while that I've wanted to try out. So I thought I'd give it a try. See if anybody joins. We'll give it a few minutes, but while we're waiting, I have been in something called FCS class at the middle school, helping a student in that class. And if you're not familiar, FCS is Family Consumer Science. When I was younger, we used to call that home ec. So we've been doing sewing and cooking, and the kids are working on plastic canvas, which if you're not really sure what that is, I'm sure you do, but if you're not sure, it's just like the plastic squares that have the holes in them. It's not counted cross stitch, but it's kind of like counted cross stitch. Is somebody on here? I can't tell what's going on here. I'm sorry, I keep like putting my hands in front of the screen because I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done this before. So if there is someone watching, hello, I'm so sorry I didn't see a name pop up. Are you able to send a message or anything? I don't really know. Like I said, hi, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'll just keep talking here until I see things popping up on the screen. And if they don't, then I might have to check out and make sure that there's not a problem. If you hear that, I'm just cutting. So I was just saying that I work in a middle school, and I've been helping a kid in, oh, hi, Ivy. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that you joined. And they've been doing the plastic canvas, which is like counted cross stitch, but it's on the bigger squares, the bigger plastic squares. So I've been creating patterns because she doesn't have any patterns. She just gives the kids a grid and has them color in the grid, and then that's what they make. And I noticed like most of the kids just do stripes. They do like 2 rows of red, 2 rows of green, whatever they're doing. And I was like, hey, we could do much better than that. I mean, I wasn't trying to show her up. I just was thinking to myself, maybe I could make some patterns. This is one that I made. I thought the owl was cute. And so then, like after I made that owl, I'm like, I want to make some more stuff. That class is probably my favorite class. Oh, thank you. I thought it was kind of cute too. So I'm working on this one right now, but it's at school, it's not here. It's just a project I'm doing for school. So I don't know, I just kind of got on a kick. And like my dragon thing that I like there. So I had to do a dragon one. I haven't made this one yet. I just kind of did the grid. And I thought, you know what, these grids are kind of cool because if I ever wanted to, I could do a crocheted blanket with that grid or something like that. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Right now, it's just something to occupy the time because school is just so stinking boring. But at least they put me in that FCS class. It kind of helps. What are you up to tonight? Stuck here. Let me see. That was just options. So I don't know. Nothing really, just watching lives. Yeah, there's not much to do. My son and my husband are at basketball practice. So I'm just kind of sitting here like, oh yeah, I can kind of do what I want tonight. That's kind of nice. The kids getting older is kind of bittersweet. You know, the independence is nice. But then there are some nights where I'm like, oh, nobody needs me anymore. They still need me. Dinner time. I hope the scissor sound isn't too annoying. So do you do a lot of lives? What do people usually talk about? I've never done a live. I've never gone to a live. This was just like that button was there and I'm like, well, I have to push it. I have to see what it does. I didn't even know if anybody would join. I haven't done a live in about 4 months. You're doing great. Oh, thank you. I kind of feel like I'm rambling on. I don't really know. Are you working on any crocheting or anything while you're doing this, or just kind of hanging out? Yardy Knots, hi. I'm so glad to see you. I didn't know if anybody would come to visit with me tonight. That I was just saying to Ivy that this live button was just too much of a temptation. I said, like, I just have to go and see what it does. See how this works. So I was just saying that, Yarny Nuts, I was just saying that I work at a middle school, and this round, I'm waiting for my husband so we can go get some dinner. Yum, Pam. Hi, Pam. And Beverly, oh my gosh. I'm so excited to see my friends. Well, where are you going out to eat if that's not too personal to ask? I just live vicariously through where other people go out to eat. Hi, Denise. Oh my gosh, all my friends are here. I love it. Having 2 teenage boys, it's way too expensive for us to go out to eat. So sometimes it can be expensive at home depending on what I make. Yeah, doing fine. My boys are at basketball practice and my husband is coaching their team. So my personal challenge of 360. Oh my gosh, wow. A debate. Yeah, I remember those days, like back when we still were able to eat out. I saw something, let me see if I can remember it. It was like they should have an app like Tinder where the husband and wife both have the app on their phone. The wheat and the rye. Ooh, that sounds good. And it lists all of the restaurants that are within a certain number of miles from your house, and you swipe left or right, like I guess they do on Tinder. I haven't ever used it, so I don't know, but that's all I hear about is that swipe left or right. And then you keep going until you both find a match. I forget what did they say it was called. They were saying it's not a real app. Somebody said they should make something like that. I think they said you should name it like Chicken Tinder or something like that. I don't know. It was funnier to read it than to have me try to remember it, but I thought the idea of it stuck with me because I thought that was a good idea, because nobody can ever decide where to eat. You know, one of you says here and the other one says nah, and then you say here and the other one says nah. So So, you know, like a Tinder type thing. So is that like a bar grill, the wheat and the rye? They always have a couple of fish specials. That's good. That's good. Sorry if I keep looking up. I'm very, very farsighted. And so I can't read anything except like on the bottom of my glasses because these are progressive. And I feel like so weird, like I'm trying to show everyone up my nose or something like that. So, because I have to go like this in order to read it. So I'm looking out of the right part of my glasses. I never wore glasses until I was 45. And then from 45 on, oh, sounds good. From 45 on, I've just been blind as a bat. I don't know. Getting old is not for the faint of heart. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know if I showed all of them. These are things that I'm making in the glasses problems, yes. I probably should just get contacts, but I just really don't want to deal with contacts. I feel like it's easier to just have glasses. Except when I'm doing a video and I need to read something and then everybody has to see up my nose because I'm leaning back so far. Wait till you turn 60, don't tell me that. Oh, you've worn them since you were 9. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I was lucky that it wasn't until I was 45. But I feel like everything's been going downhill since there. But don't tell me that 60's worse. Oh no. I just turned 50 this year, so I have a little bit of time. But anyway, the like home ec class, they call it FCS now, Family Consumer Science. They're doing like cross stitch, but not the little cross stitch ones. They're using those big plastic canvases with the holes in them since high school. Oh yeah, yeah. The bifocals, they can be a pain depending on your angle. You know, I feel like if I'm just walking around, everything's fine until I have to read something. So, but I was making up some patterns because I was doing it with them. No, the kid I'm working with was able to do theirs independently. Oh yeah, getting older is not fun. Tell me about it. And so of course I had to do a dragon. I know I already showed this one, but I don't know if everybody saw it. I was just trimming them up. Fishbowl. And then this was one I completed. The owl. But these could be fun too, like anything on a grid, you know, you could crochet that pattern. You could, if you were a better knitter than me, you could knit a pattern on that. I can knit, but I'm not really like read a grid knit kind of person. I'm just kind of the basic. And then I was working on these today. I thought these would be fun. Thank you. It gives me something to do in class, you know, especially I don't know, the middle school kids are so ornery and there's no consequence that means anything to them. There is just some kids who are in school suspension or out of school suspension like 3-4 times a month. And, you know, obviously it's not a punishment for them, but that's like the worst punishment that they can give the kids at school nowadays. You know, I don't know how many times I've been cursed at, and it's just ridiculous. I don't know. The thing that keeps me there is the hours, because even though my boys are teenagers now, I started working there when they were still in elementary school, and then I just always had the same days off as them, and, you know, I always had the summers off with them. And those types of things aren't as important. The summer off is what is important because neither of my kids drive yet. And so if I was working over the summer, you know, they would, and if I had to, I had to, but if I was, they would just be sitting around, not being in any activities or anything. They'd be just sitting around the house. I watch these videos, live chats, and I read or crochet. Oh, okay, you take them off. Yeah, I think you're right that middle school is worse. Oh, I'll see you later, Pam. Enjoy your enjoy your dinner out. That's so fun. And I've been enjoying this crochet along too. This has been a lot of fun. Enjoy your time. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. Because I'm farsighted, when I take them off, it is even much worse. It's much blurrier. So, yeah, I think if I was nearsighted, that would work. But I don't know. I can't read anything when it's too close either. But yeah, I haven't worked in a high school. I started out in the elementary school. And then the kid that I was working with in elementary school, he left the district. So there was a position open in the middle school. And I've been at the middle school for quite a while now. And I like it better than the elementary because I don't have to do recess and lunch duty. Those are the worst, especially in elementary. Can you open my container? Can you tie my shoe? My nose is running. He looked at me funny. All those types of things can get old fast. But in the middle school, it's more like disrespectful, and which, not that that's any better, but it's just different. You know, it's a little bit less, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, but it's not fun, you know, to go in and have kids be disrespectful to you all the time with no consequences. And, you know, how many kids, oh my gosh, when I was in school, it was way different, you know. Now they're playing games to learn, and then they complain about the games. The games on the computer, you know, they have things like, what are the names of some of those games? Look It, and, you know, it's like you answer questions and then you play like a little video game. If you answer a certain number of questions, you get to play a little part of the video game, and then you answer some more questions. And the kids just complain about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, you should have been to school when I was in school. We had none of this. Plus, we had to write everything in cursive. The kids can't read a clock. They can't read cursive. I don't know. So, but you just get through and do what you need to do. You know, my teachers had rollers whack. Yeah, some of these kids need that, I'll tell you, but I wouldn't want the consequences of that. Gosh, some of these kids get detention and their parents call and say, my kid's not serving detention. And the school's like, okay, you don't have to serve detention. It's like, what the heck? I don't know. They complain. I think that the parents complain because detention is after school, and the parents have to pick them up because they don't have an after school bus. And so the parents are like, I'm not coming and picking them up, you know. So the school doesn't do anything. As soon as the parents complain, they give in. So, I don't know. I didn't mean for this to be like a complaint about my job session. I'm sorry that it turned into that. I guess it started because I was telling you about the project I was making in one of my classes. So, are all of you guys doing our basket crochet along? I know I've seen some of them. Gosh, the colors that everybody's picking are so interesting. At work, but look. Hi, Sarah. It's so good to see you. I keep saying all my friends are coming on and saying hi. The live button was way too tempting. I had to push it and see what happens. Thank you. I appreciate that you said that, Denise, because yeah, it does help sometimes to vent. And sometimes I have to remember why I'm still there. Yeah, I still need it for the schedule. But next year, my oldest will be 16. It's Roman. I hope that he learns how to drive. For those of you who don't know, he's autistic. But he's pretty, oh my goodness, he has really come far, and he's pretty high functioning. This year was his first year to not have a one-on-one aide at school. And he's doing great. He has all A's and B's for grades. I'm so proud of him. But he's even worried about driving because he says, I don't know if I have the skills to be able to pay attention enough. Oh, thank you. I think so too, but I'm probably biased. But I thought, oh my gosh, if he could drive, that would just pick up so much of the slack, especially since the two boys I have, they love all the same activities, which I guess it would be much worse if they were in all different activities, you know, running one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. You know, for the most part, they're together, you know, dropped off and picked up together. It should be. Sorry, I missed what that was in reference to. But yeah, so they're both going to be in the high school marching band next year. They both do track, which is coming up soon. Roman did the bowling team at the high school, but my youngest is still in middle school. It wasn't old enough for it this year. So, but he wants to do the bowling team because they're both in a bowling league outside of that bowling. Everyone always asks, do you and your husband bowl? I'm like, no. I mean, we've gone for fun, but we're not bowlers. But the elementary's, oh, thank you about your son being wonderful. Thank you. Oh, the elementary school that they went to had just some kind of introduction to bowling. And they both fell in love with bowling and immediately asked if they could be in a bowling league. So ever since elementary school, they've been in a bowling league and they both bowl pretty well. I mean, nobody's gotten a 300 and they don't roll like 200s, but you know, gosh, they're way improved from when they started in like third grade. So I think it was a good experience. You know, it's interesting to see what your kids find, you know, what kinds of things they find, especially when it's like different from things that you did, you know, when you were young. You know, I guess when you're thinking of other people and their kids are in different things than what they did, you're not really thinking about it. But when it's your kids, you know, it's kind of like, oh, I never was interested in that growing up. That's interesting. I mean, I would go bowling socially with some friends when you know, throughout my whole life, but I was never like, ooh, I got to be on a bowling league or anything like that. So, and I definitely was not a track runner, but I did do marching band. My husband was always like on the football team, on the baseball team, so he was a little bit more athletic, and I think he is disappointed that the boys don't like the same sports that he did because he never did basketball, but both of my boys like basketball. But he is good about it. He coaches their team and you know, he supports them. But I can tell that like he's disappointed that nobody plays football and he's disappointed that nobody plays baseball. So that's just the way it goes. You can't decide for other people what they should be interested in. So I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling on. I'm so sorry if I'm boring. So I was working a little bit more. I can give you guys a sneak peek on the color guard for the band buddy book. So she's got legs now and almost a waist. But this part's not too bad because now it's just going to come up until it's another 4 inches. So this is kind of on an easy part. So, but it's kind of fun seeing it come together. They have to do what makes them happy. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And it is interesting to see what they choose, you know, what does make them happy. And we've never like tried to force them into anything. We always let them decide, you know, like when papers came home for like Boy Scouts, you know, we asked them each, you know, did you want to do that? And neither of them had any kind of interest in that. So it wasn't, you know, anything I pushed. I did Girl Scouts when I was really young, but I didn't stick with it. You know, and luckily, hi, Edna. Do they know what instruments they want to play? They both play trumpet. They've both been playing trumpet for quite a few years. And I don't know if this is why, but my grandfather played trumpet, and I always had, when he passed away, I inherited his trumpet. And so I always had it in the house. And when they were little, because it's not like a good trumpet, it's old, but it's not like professional model trumpet or anything like that. So when they were little, I used to get it out and I'd let them, play on it supervised, because I didn't let them just like run around with it and crunch it up and break it. I didn't want that. But I did get it out and let them blow into it and give it a try. And both of them, just kind of had a knack for it. And then in fourth grade, the band director, they always test, like they'll say, what instrument do you want to play? And then he tests them out to make sure it'll be a good match for them. And the band director in both cases said, okay, trumpet seems to be good for them. And they both like it. I think it's a kind of a good hobby for them. They both learned how to play piano too, and they only gave up the lessons this year. And I think it was just, we were so busy. But they had taken piano lessons since they were 6, and when they stopped this year, they were 12 and 14. So they both had quite a few years of piano lessons. But yeah. But these dolls are fun. That's why I keep looking down, because I'm just still kind of, I thought I'd do a few more rows while we were chatting. And if you guys have a project, feel free to get it out. Crochet along. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of babbling on and on. And it's nice to be able to hang out here with my friends, kind of get to see you in a different setting rather than me just kind of spouting off and saying my spiel. This is just kind of more real, more raw. I can't edit my mistakes here. Hopefully there aren't too many of them. Just all the nervous giggles. So what all are you guys working on? Do you have any projects you're doing? Are you just too busy with other things? I love to play piano. I used to play in church. Oh, that's so nice. That's awesome. I think that it's a great skill to have. I learned piano too. I never got to be like great, but I can sit down, like play some Christmas songs at Christmas and stuff. The important things. It's fun. I think it's a great skill to have, and they'll have it forever. They've learned enough that they're not going to forget. I'm working on my second filet crochet baby blanket. Oh, sweet. Do you have somebody in mind to give it to you, or do you just make them and, wait for someone to have a baby? I used to work with somebody back a lifetime ago who was an avid crocheter, and she just loved to make them, working on a 1940s purse. Oh my gosh, and a baby hoodie. So cool. I'd love to see that purse. Valentine hearts for a contest. What's the contest? Yeah. I'm curious what that Valentine contest is. For a friend's sister-in-law. I'm actually making 3 of them, as 2 other friends are expecting. Okay, so you had somebody in mind. I was just saying, this lady that I worked with, she used to have a whole closet full of baby blankets, and then if somebody had a baby, she'd just pull one out, but she just was constantly making them. And so I guess she just really, really loved to make baby blankets. She never had children herself. Lottie and Terry. Okay. I don't think I know that contest. I'll have to see if I can find that. I didn't really do any Valentine's special things, because so many people were, and I thought, how many different hearts do you need? Starting my own channel to share my makes. Oh my gosh, you definitely should. I'm still waffling with you. I'm not a techie person. I love yarny friends. Just put out one and see how it goes. But I think you definitely should. We all love just seeing what everybody makes. And I love that you come and support what we do, but we also want to come and support you. I guess I can't speak for everybody else. I certainly do, but I think I'm not the only one who likes to go and see. I'm usually making prayer shawls for Mission Church. We are currently ahead, so I am having fun doing something different. Okay, so I guess that they only need so many. Those are fun too. I haven't made any of those in a long time. My mother-in-law used to make them. Just have to keep busy. I'm with you there. I'm kind of like that too. Sometimes I'll be making something and my husband's like, what are you going to do with that? He said that about the love blanket that we made, the heartthrob blanket. The boys and they were like, wow, this, it's really cool and really intricate, but they're like, what are you going to do with that? We don't really need a pink love blanket in our house. So that's why I did the giveaway with that. But it was certainly a lot of fun to make. And it is fun to make stuff and either donate or do giveaways with it. So we'll see. I'm hoping this Band Buddy book kind of works out the way I'm hoping, because I'd love to give away some of those. And do it and have too much going on. I want to join and do it. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. That's okay. That's okay. This kind of thing, if you're talking about the crochet along, this is the kind of thing that you can just do when you have time. That's why we're doing a different pattern each month. And I thought it would be interesting. There are so many channels that just do blanket, 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 blanket. And they're all gorgeous and beautiful blankets. But I think, unless you're donating or giving them away all the time, there's just so many blankets that one person needs, or one family even. I'm more than one person in my household, but, we have plenty of blankets in our house. We don't really need any more. So I wanted to do like different things. I wanted to see what else could we make. The owl basket was really cool. And I'm curious to see what we'll decide on. We kind of have to see what everybody is interested in. But, I certainly have some thoughts, but I don't want to dominate and be the only one who picks patterns. I picked the owl, or I brought it to their attention. I was like, can we try this owl basket? And everybody was on board for that. But I don't want to go next month and be like, can we do this? Because then nobody else has a chance to pick anything. So we'll see. I think Jenna said that she had a couple ideas. She didn't say yet, but hola, ¿cómo estás? Thank you. Thank you. I want to keep it fresh and new, and interesting. And there might be months where people are, some people will like the project, some people won't like it. And that's the beauty of it, is that you can just kind of pop in and out. But if you're still in our Facebook group, you can still see what everybody else is doing. Just because you don't want to make something doesn't mean it isn't interesting to see what other people are doing and see how they do it and what colors. I mean, it was amazing to me when we did that heartthrob blanket, just the color differences, but not even just that, like just that some of the people even threw in different stitches, like Jenna made it with, I think it was Jenna that made it with double crochets, or one of them did it with double crochets instead of half double crochets. And I thought, I didn't even think to do it that way, but there's no reason why you couldn't. Somebody named Kristen, and I think she has a channel called Randomly Kristen. I think she talks about lots of different things on her channel, but she's in our Facebook group, and she just posted, she redid the actual written pattern with the colors that she chose. and I never saw anything like it before. Yeah, I like to see that too. I like to see all the different colors because sometimes it even changes like how it looks. This owl basket, I can't even get over how all of the colors are just making it that much more interesting. You know, every time I see a new one, I'm like, ooh, I want to make it in those colors. Ooh, I want to make it in those colors. Now I want to make it in those colors. It's just so interesting. But randomly, Kristen, she just posted on Facebook today. She totally redid the grid in the colors she wanted to do. And she did a rainbow background. I think she's not completely finished yet, but she did a rainbow background with gray behind the letters, and then the letters are white. And it just looked so unique. It was really like almost like a different blanket. But yeah, I agree. Just even just changing the colors just makes it so much more interesting. So yeah, I'm excited to see what we'll do next. So yeah, it is pretty. If you're in that, I think I saw you in that Facebook group, right, Denise? I think you're in it. You'll have to pop over there and see it. Her name is Kristen. I don't remember what her last name is, but I think she just posted it today, so it probably should be closer to the top. But like I said, she has a station. It's called Randomly Kristen. And she talks about, she does crochet, but I think she's, oh, you're not. I thought I saw your name in there. I'm sorry. Well, you're certainly welcome to join. If you do Facebook, if you don't do Facebook, you know, you're certainly welcome to join in the Facebook page. I linked a link to it in my last Things We're Making Thursday video, the one I did yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday. I'm losing track. So what would you make if you were choosing for a group? Just out of curiosity. Because I'm wondering if somebody's going to suggest an amigurumi. I think that would be a whole lot of fun. Like I said though, I don't want to pick the next one because there's so many. Oh, okay. So maybe it was another Denise, is what you're saying. It could have been. Was that a common name when you were growing up? I don't think I really knew that many Denises. There were, yes, okay. There were tons of Heathers, so I can relate. I probably mentioned that once or twice on my channel. I don't think there's anything wrong with the name Heather, but I just never liked it because I felt like I didn't feel like I was unique. You know what I mean? I felt like, oh, it's just another Heather, you know. So, no, it wasn't. Yeah. Yeah, but people are like my mom's like, yeah, but whenever you wanted to find your name on something, there always was. I was like, yeah, but there was never one in stock because they were always sold out. And but how often do you buy, like, go to a gift shop anyway? And okay, so when you were younger, it wasn't as common, but now you see the name more. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't really think I know anybody named Denise. So guess it just depends on where you are. And actually, truthfully, I don't know too many Heathers anymore either. It was just when I was young, I knew tons and tons of Heathers, but I don't think I work with any other Heathers, and I don't think I've heard that name in a long time, other than me. So I guess it's getting better. I don't know. Okay. Was she Your oldest daughter's name was Heather. My parents swear that they didn't know anybody with that name when they named me. I was born in 72. So I guess that was kind of right around the time where everybody was naming their kid Heather. Is your daughter like more around my age? Is she younger? Because, it's funny when there's such a common name. Hi, Day Rose. I'm doing well. How are you doing? She was born, okay, so she's about my age. Yeah, that was about the time when the name was popular. Did you know it was a popular name when you picked it? We're just talking about popular names. When I was younger, Heather was a really popular name, and I was never even really called Heather in school. I was called Heather B. Okay, you were born in 71. No, you didn't. Yeah, that's what my parents say too. My parents said, oh, we thought it was going to be a unique name. And, I guess a lot of people were naming their kids like flower names and that kind of stuff around that time, because it's still kind of the age of flower children and that kind of stuff. But, yeah. Well, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the name. It's just that I didn't like, I never even really got to be called my name. Like I said, I was either Heather B, or, this was similar to was a popular boy. Oh, Dana. Okay. I bet that's even harder. When I went to school, there was a boy named Kim, and his name was constantly put like in the girls' gym class and stuff like that. I think that, yeah, that would be even harder if you had a name that was either mostly the other gender, or could be either gender. So, yeah. Yeah, but kids would oftentimes call me Bergie because it was close to my maiden name. I didn't really like that too much. Or Iceberg. Bergie or Iceberg. It's like, oh well. What can you do? I got a couple more rows in her body. Dennis. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm sure that didn't feel good when you were in school. Yeah, I guess it could be worse. At least Heather is not mistaken as a boy's name. So does anybody have exciting weekend plans? No. Yeah, I can imagine that wouldn't have been cool. My weekend is the usual. There's bowling leagues in the morning for the boys, and then basketball games in the afternoon, and then Sunday is clean the house and get the groceries. Although I can't complain too much about groceries because I do get the groceries delivered to my house. So I think it would drive me crazy, like buying groceries for all these boys and having to go shopping and then bring them home. And you do what you have to do. I know, like, that's nothing to be complaining about. There are definitely worse problems to have in this world, but I am spoiled by having the groceries delivered. It does help a lot. So, I don't know. People keep saying like, oh, you'll miss, going to all your kids' activities and stuff. And I believe that. But I think sometimes it's easy to forget how hectic it is. It's like, if we just had a few things here and there, it wouldn't be too bad. But it's like every day. Sit and crochet and do some sewing. Sunday I do children. Yeah, nice. That sounds like a fun weekend. Any time where you can sit and crochet, that's a fun time. So I'll take that. I do cheat and take crocheting along when the boys are doing their bowling league. So I sit there and crochet while they're bowling, but I don't miss anything. I'm still watching. I usually bring something mindless. Like lately, I've been bringing a dish towel pattern, and that's the one that I'll show on Sunday then, the one that I did at bowling. So now you know my secret. I crochet or knit my dishcloths while my boys are bowling. And then I show it on Sunday. But it has been fun to get out the knitting needles here and there. I would love, are any of you guys knitters? Do you knit too? I would really love to knit a sweater someday, but I feel like you have to have just the right yarn in order to have it like really nice. I have priced out some of the patterns, you know, that have nice sweaters, and oh my goodness, some of the yarn is like break the bank expensive for those nice sweaters. But I'm a beginner knitter. So am I. I mean, I learned to knit when I was younger, but I never really went anywhere with it. You know, I can do like the basic knit purl or, you know, some of that kind of stuff. But as far as, you know, knitting a big project like a sweater, I don't know if you guys know Erin from Crafting Kitty, but she's doing like a Mr. Rogers book, knitting book. And she's like, I think she's calling it Fridays with Fred. And she's going to start some projects in that book and show them every Friday. And she's like, anybody can join along. And I didn't even look at the book, but I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I went and looked at the book to buy it. And I'm like, no, I won't be doing it. Because they're like zippers in the sweaters. And oh my gosh, it's really more complicated than my skill level. So I was like, never mind, I take that back. I'm not doing that with you. It was a good idea though. I kind of like Fridays with Freds. I thought that, or Fridays with Fred. I thought that was cute. I didn't even know they had that. I had read somewhere that the sweaters he wore were all hand knit from him. I've heard different stories. I've heard that his mother knit them for him, but then I've also heard that his wife knit them for him. And who knows, maybe it's a combination. Maybe both of them were knitting sweaters for him. But is he still alive? Does anybody know? I never even thought about it. Yeah, I think it's going to be neat. I can't wait to see what she does with those patterns in that book. She's obviously more skilled. Oh, he did die? When did he die? How long ago? Do you know? I guess I could ask my device. A few years. Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear about that. Oh, I used to like watching that when I was a kid. I remember the train and, you know, he was a storyteller too, if I'm remembering right. But Alexa, what year did Fred Rogers die?
Fred Rogers died on February 27, 2003 at the age of 74 years.
It's been more than a few years. Wow. I don't know where I've been that I didn't know that. 2003, what was I doing? I got married that year. Oh, his wife died, yeah. I'm guessing if they were similar age, you know, she probably would be pretty old now if she was still alive. He was 73, I think she said. So, yeah, I was busy planning a wedding that year. Actually, probably most of the planning was done by then. Well, do you guys have anything else you want to talk about? I'm kind of running out, running out of ideas. This was really cool. No, we have my sense of time. That's okay. Sometimes it feels like. Do you remember the work basket? It was Crochet Magazine. No, I don't know that one. The work basket. I don't know that one. Did they have a lot of good patterns and stuff? Sarah, that's a really good question. So, you can self-publish whatever you want through Amazon. You would do Amazon's publishing, and that's what I did. I have, if you can, excuse me, 1 second. They're literally like right here in the corner of my table. I have some books, some crochet books that I have already published. They're not really too picky about, I think they check to make sure that you didn't break any copyright laws. They go through it to make sure that it's not, you know, obscene or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they even, I don't know what their rules are, but you know, they go through it and they make sure that everything's right. I'm trying to get them out and see if there's anything. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting, Day Rose. That's always an exciting time. I remember feeling so excited. But they'll check it over, and then they will publish the book. They'll list it for sale on Amazon, and if somebody orders it, they print it out and send it to the person. I don't really have to do anything. But one of the issues is that it's not publicized. You know, it's like my books are on there, but somebody has to either stumble across them. I think I've sold like a total of 4 books since I published them over the summer. You know, so it's like nobody's seeing them. But it is exciting to say, oh, I'm published, you know. It's a little bit of bragging rights. But this is one of them, Eclectic Ethereal Dice Bags, and it's a book of dice bag patterns. The inside is much better than the outside. I am awful at designing covers, and that's a big problem for me too. That I will get like a digital design going for the cover that I think looks good, and then I go to put it into their format and it's not the right size, and then they keep bouncing it. And so this one here really has nothing good on the front cover, but that's because every time I submitted a picture for the cover, they rejected it. And then they're like, here, just use one of our generic, you know, this is one of their generic covers. And so I feel like that didn't help either. You know, this one has a generic cover too, Fantastic Fantasy Dice Bags. And then same with this one, Cuddly Companion Dolls. These are all things that I have published already. So I was going to do that again with my Band Buddy book, and probably do a giveaway for some, and maybe if there was some excitement out there, maybe people would see it. I'm also going to work a lot harder to see if I can get a better cover for it. I'm going to do a little bit more research about how I can get the right size and the right things going, because that's like, they say don't judge a book by a cover, but you do. You judge the book by the cover. So, you know, seeing something like this is not like, oh, that sounds, or that looks appealing, you know. This was the best one that I could do, and even this one is like not really all that great. You know, you can at least see pictures of the patterns, but You know, I don't know. The thing, can you not put a pickle? I probably could, but like I said, it was something with the format that always ended up being wrong. So I need to do a little bit. I'm going to research better because I want this one to at least look more appealing. So I'm probably going to look up like what can I do to make my pictures look better on a cover of a published Amazon book. So we'll see. I don't know. I am going to do my best to try and make that better. But I think that would be cute to have at least a picture of the band buddy. And, you know, I don't know. I have to kind of play around with it and see. But it might even be cool to have a picture of him with each of the instruments and maybe the color guard in the middle. I don't know. I'll have to play around with it. I haven't gotten that far. I was trying to work on the patterns first. And then when it's time to go and see if I can publish. Because I think I didn't have any trouble publishing these 4. You know, it just took a couple of days for them to edit it. I'd love to be a pattern tester. Oh, that would be awesome. Sarah, I'll remember that. I'll remember that. So, have you ever entered one of my giveaways? If you did, I probably do have your email address because I was keeping the email addresses in case I needed to get in contact for, you know, like strings and threads kind of stuff. But if I have your email that already, that would be awesome. Then I can like maybe send you a pattern or something for testing. Do you do it like for free so that you can have the pattern, or do you charge for that just out of curiosity? Because I've seen both. It's okay. You could tell me another time if it's private. You could send me an email. So anyway, so I'm hoping, I don't think that publishing it will be a big deal because like I said, the other ones just took a couple of days for them to make sure I wasn't breaking any copyright laws or anything like that. And then they just put it up. And you can put it up for Kindle hardback or and no, just for free fun. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sarah. That's good to know. I'll definitely do that with you then at some point. But yeah, then you just pick what formats. And I think I never did one in hardback. I guess I could go back and request hardback, but I've done Kindle version and paperback. These are all the paperback versions. So, and this is the only one I could get something on the back cover. This is the Cuddly Companion Dolls, and then it shows a picture of each of the dolls and their clothes and stuff. I don't even think that's all of them. That one just lucked out that it was the right format. I need to do better than just be lucky. Because covers are important. But I am excited to give this a try and, you know, do the giveaway and try and see if more people will see that pattern. I did have a friend of mine just got a job at a publishing company. Sorry for the slow response. It's still at work. Oh, okay. Just wanted to check. Okay, cool. That's nice that you could do that at work. My friend just got a job, like she said, just this week at a publishing company, and they publish crafting books. And the thing that, you know, I said, I need to know, and she didn't get back to me yet, so I don't know what it is. One is, I know some of these companies that either do like 1 million patterns for $5 or, you know, have all these free patterns listed on their website. They buy the rights to the patterns from the people who create them, and then it makes them tons of money. If you do a band buddy, make several with each instrument and make them look like a marching band. Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool. Thank you for that suggestion. I have to see if I can make that work, but I have to do a little more research to, like I said, to make sure it's the right format for that too. So, but that sounds really, really cool. And maybe I can make that work. That is really cute. Yeah, I like that. Um, one is I don't want to lose the rights to any of my patterns. I don't want to just sell my pattern and then that's it. I can't ever do anything with it again. Because I do sell my patterns individually on Etsy, and that's the only place where really I make any sales is on Etsy, and people do buy the patterns from me on there. So I don't want to have to take those down and not be able to sell those anymore, or not be able to do a video tutorial on them anymore, because once you sell your pattern to somebody and it's theirs, you know, it's no longer your pattern, so you can't do any of the things that, you know, it would be like me taking, you know, a pattern from somebody else's book and doing a video tutorial. That's a big no-no. So that, I asked her that, I was like, would I lose my rights to that? And then I was saying like, how, where do you sell to? You know, am I gonna get any sales, or is it just gonna sit in your, is it gonna kind of be like Amazon, where it just kind of sits out there in the cyber world and no one ever sees it? So I don't know. I'm waiting to see if she gets back to me with that, because she wanted me to do a pattern book for her company, and I would love to do that if it was, you know, something good, you know, so like a good deal. So we'll see. That's kind of where I'm at with the whole publishing thing. But it's exciting to learn and to see how all this works, and you never know. I could probably, yeah, don't give up. Yeah, I agree. I really don't want to do that. You know, my husband's like, if they offer you $5,000, I'm like, no, because I think I could probably, you know, especially for the dragon head one, I just made a little one here because I wanted to do a seminar over the summer where I was making this bag for a convention, you know, we'll see if that pans out too. But this one, I have had more sales on this one than anything else. And then it's just a little pouch. You can put, I advertise it as a dice bag, but really you could put anything in it. But people really like that one. You know, that one has had a lot of sales. And so my husband was like, if they offer you $5,000 for that pattern, would you? I'm like, no, I definitely don't want to give up the rights for that one. I already have, you know, video tutorials up for it. You know, I don't want to have to take all that down. I would make a cute slipper. I never thought about that, but oh my gosh. You know what the funny thing is? I tried to get green, but they didn't actually have green. I went to the dollar store and I got that, I forget what they call that at the Dollar Tree or Dollar General. I don't remember which one sells it. It's this one here. It's just active. And I wanted to see if one skein of that would do all of the, you know, the body, the nose, the eyelid, and the bottom part of the horn. And so I made the whole thing with this left over. So you can make it with one skein, but if I was doing a class, I might need a little bit, they might need a little bit extra if they make a mistake or something. So Dollar Tree, okay, I always get mixed up. I went to a Dollar General around here and they had some cotton yarn, but they said that that was the last of the yarn that they were going to have because it wasn't selling. I was like, oh man. But I did get a good discount on it when I was in there. That was, I believe, like in the fall that I went there and that happened. But yeah, slipper. Anyway, oh my gosh, I never thought of making these into a slipper, but that would be pretty awesome. I might have to do that. That was a great idea. I don't know. People were saying hat, but I'm not sure, like, Thank you. Yeah, I ended up getting purple because there was no green, but yeah, it is really cool in the purple too. So I don't know. I've seen people, if you ever went to my Etsy page, people have posted pictures of their make with it. And people have used some interesting colors. I saw somebody did a variegated, and I was like, oh, I'm not so sure if I'm sold on variegated for the dragon head bag, but to each their own. Somebody did it in orange, and that looked pretty cool, I thought. I don't know if I've seen too many, like in folklore and stuff, I don't know if I've seen too many orange dragons, but it was still kind of cool looking. It's always neat to see how others interpret your pattern. I get so excited when people make my pattern. It doesn't happen a ton, but when I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. I love how they did it. I love their spin on it. I love the colors that they used with it. So, I don't know. So, what time is it? Well, I think I'm going to head out. I'm so excited that I got to really like be talking to you guys on a more personal level. This was really exciting. I'm definitely going to do another live. Maybe I'll plan it next time. This time was just kind of like, oh, nobody's home. I'm going to try this live button and see what happens. So, but I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed, like I said, getting like a more personal talk with you guys. And I hope you guys have a good night. Yes, you have a blessed weekend too. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Yeah, it was just really, really nice to talk to you guys like this. It's kind of better than a video. A video is just kind of out there, but this was like more getting to know you. So, and if you're not on our Facebook Things We're Making Thursday, get on there too, because that's a little bit more personal too. We're all kind of sharing on there too. This is better, but that's still a little bit more personal than just watching a video. So, thank you. You have a nice weekend too. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for stopping by. All right, I'm going to head out. Bye-bye.